Oh, we're on. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. I don't know. Maybe you're watching this now live. No, nobody is because there's nobody in the stream. So I'll give people a few minutes to log on. Just kidding. I never let people. I never wait for people to log on. I just barrel through, even though I'm talking to myself, which is fine. So whenever you're watching this, because I know lots of people watch this after the fact, excuse me, welcome to the latest SilviaFindings live stream presentation. We're continuing our ongoing efforts to provide a video catalog of all of our products. We're still doing earrings. That's where we are. I've only got like 1.5 sessions of earrings to show you, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll split it up into half. Maybe we'll have 2 slightly abridged versions. I try to keep these live streams under an hour. Why anybody is still here after an hour is beyond me, but it's good to know. I guess good information. If you share this video, again, same as always. Oh, let me get that. My prop screen. If you share this, oh, light. And on the 6th day, Nelson said, you should have more light. If you share this video, why you would is beyond me again, but whatever, if you do, torture your friends. He will send you one of these polishing cloths. I think you don't need to have that explained again for the 100th time. Or no, 50, I know it's 50 something, 57, 58. Do we know? Do you know? Nobody knows. We just do them. We just keep doing them. But that means that it's been over a year. And I know that we missed 1 or 2 weeks for something. I forget why. We might have missed a week for, maybe we were away or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're here again. Yeah, 50 something, episode 50, whatever it is. You probably know because you clicked on the link and it probably said right on the link, hey, SilviaFindings 50 something live stream. Anyway, so here we are. Shipping has been 60th. Thank you. Wow. I feel like we need to celebrate. Okay, not really, but it would have been fun anyway. Where was I? Oh, shipping. Shipping has been going great. I'm actually constantly surprised with how much better things are in general, all across the world. Apparently Australia is having some difficulty because you know, I don't like talking about current events because then if you're watching this after the fact, it's very dated, and it's like obviously like, oh, that was peak 2021, wasn't it? But the Delta variant is causing some issues somewhere, and some places are not fully vaccinated or not easily getting vaccinated. Apparently there's a lot of misinformation going around there. I don't know where that could be happening as he streams live on Facebook. Oh boy, I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that. Anyway, whatever. So shipping is going great. We've had stuff into Europe take, I think the quickest was to the Netherlands. 10 days. 10 days. That's awesome. I can't even ship something from here to the other side of this country in 10 days. But I promised myself I was going to stop talking smack about Canada Post. Let's get started with the earrings. Wait, I missed some things. Custom work. Bring us your custom work. We're still doing so much custom work, and we love it. I feel like it's really, it seems like it's a niche part of the industry that just isn't being totally, completely fulfilled, you know, or thing. Hi, Narendra, Sony, Narendra. I totally messed that up. But hi, thanks for joining the stream. Where was I? Oh, custom work. Yeah. God, I feel like the more people realize what it is and what it is that we can do, which is pretty much anything, um, you know, people jump on board. And, you know, because of the way that we do it, we don't really do it the way a traditional jeweler would. I'm not going to get into all that now. There's lots of places where you can find that information. I know we recorded some videos recently that I think are going to come out soon that explains the whole custom process. Oh, I said process. My Canadian was slipping there. The whole process. Anyway, neither here nor there. But we're just doing so much of it. It's so great. And yeah. Let's get on to the earrings, because I feel like I'm kind of everywhere except where I should be right now. So let's just move this. Our first item, God, that was a rocky start. EW542 with a retail price of $21.07 and a wholesale price of $14.79 a pair. Let me just explain a couple of things. Retail price is the R is the retail price, the regular price, whatever, that's the price. W is a wholesale price. To get the wholesale price, you just need to spend per order, so it doesn't have to be all of one item. It just has to be $150 total, which is super easy if you're buying, you know, sterling items, things. All of our items that I'm going to show you are absolutely 100% sterling silver, which is an alloy of at least 92.5% silver, right? Mostly everything I'm going to show you today are plated with rhodium, so they maintain their luster and silver color forever. They don't tarnish as easily, hardly ever. Most of these things will come with a suggested size of stone. And usually those are like absolutely, I guess suggested is not really a good word, because that would suggest that you don't have to abide by that. Anyway, in this case, so it's like a 6x6 millimeter is the mounting size, right? EW542 is the code. This is just a very cute little post earring, right? With some very three-dimensional, kind of like two loops, two oval loops kind of joined together. Now the cool thing about this is that there are notches in the inside of those loops. I don't know if you could see those, where the girdle of the stone would sit, and then there's just this one single prong that holds that in place. So you know, even though theoretically you could probably put a cabochon in there, I wouldn't, because really you need to have the pavilion of the stone go down inside the basket to be able to hold it securely, because it's only one stone pushing that in. If there's no pavilion being held down by the seat, you know, down in there, then it's very easy for the cabochon to be pushed off to the side. So there's way more secure ways to connect to set cabochons, and this is not one of them. So this is pretty much guaranteed you're going to have to use a faceted stone in this one, right? So just that. Now we have a couple of earrings that are like this, and I'll just start with one, ES242, with a retail price of $15.60 a pair and a wholesale price of $9.75 a pair. And I know that we've got these in a couple sizes. I'm just trying to find them because they're in different places. Maybe I started with the in-between size. Anyway, ES242, $15.60 is the retail price, $9.75 is a wholesale price. And this is just a simple, this is made specifically for a cabochon, right? So it's a earring post, and you know, we had to bend the post to get it to fit in this display case. So don't worry, when we send them to you, they won't be bent like this, they'll be straight. There's just like a, whatever, a nice wide silver border around the thing where you would glue in your cabochon. Again, that's strictly for cabochons. Cut stones won't work in that. And we've got this in 3 sizes, in 8mm, in 10mm, or okay, those are not 8mm. I think that's 6mm, 6mm, 8mm, and 10mm. ES206 with a retail price of $11.70 and a wholesale price of $7.80. And you see the mounting size there is 10mm. This one we had, and this one, which I think that's a mistake. I'll have to measure that. ES263 with a retail price of $10.32 and a wholesale price of $6.45. Narendra from Jaipur, where all the stones come from. Well, not they don't come from there, but they get cut there. I knew a stone dealer in Jaipur. He was based in Delhi. Silverline is the name of the company. He used to deal with ES236 with a retail price of $14.56 is the retail price. Wholesale price is $9.10 per pair. This is for a 10x8mm, and this is just a little bit different. The outside border is separate from the inside piece, right? So it's kind of more like a, I don't know, a frame or like a halo. Although generally, when you think of a halo, you think of cubic zirconias or stones or diamonds or something in there. But anyway, these are for a 8x10mm oval. And then we have some other variations on that same kind of idea. I'll just show you this one, right? Basically the same idea as the original ones, the plain ones, only they have kind of like a twisty rope border around the edge there. ES245 with a retail price of $14.14 and a wholesale price of $8.84. And this is a 10mm stone that would fit in here. Here's another one. ES246, also for a 10mm cabochon, $24.96 is the retail price, $15.60 is the wholesale price. And this, I'm going to pull this out a little bit. This is just a little bit more fancy schmancy, right? There's more, it's a little bit thick, a little bit thicker borders on the side, and there's a lot more kind of like, I don't know, almost like filigree sort of components that are soldered to the outside of that. The little curly cues and little flourishes. Kind of elegant, kind of cute, very nice. Let me see. I've got a bunch more of that kind of thing. Here's one where it's right, lovely sort of crown flourishes. It's an open weave there, almost like a filigree thing, except the seat is only in the first half, and then the rest is, the post and everything. Again, for a 9mm cabochon, ES247 with a retail price of $22.36 and a wholesale price of $13.98. Here's a cool one. I love this one. This is like one of the oldest. Probably should have opened this before we started. I can do it. So it's a, again, a nice flat piece. Don't mind the bent earring post. So it's for what is that? An 8mm round cabochon that you would glue down into there, and it's got that lovely border of marcasites and that granulation, right? Lovely sort of, I don't know, very three-dimensional, very cute. Then we've got the oh, you know what? Let me just do this one first, because this also has marcasites, right? Another very similar idea to that other one. There's a nice big circle of marcasites and granulation effects with a little cab on the inside of that, a little setting, kind of like a scalloped border bezel setting, but it's not a bezel because you probably couldn't push that down onto the stone unless it were super thin. But even then, this is definitely for gluing your cab in there, and that's for a 9mm round stone. ES 241 with a retail price of $28.08 and a wholesale price of $17.55. Now we've got a couple other decorative kind of things for gluing cabs. This is just plain silver border with that sort of I don't know, triangles and the dots in there. It gives it kind of, I don't know, like a little bit of a tribal look to it. And then you would just glue the stone down in there. ES 248, that's for a 10mm cabochon. $23.30 is the retail price, and $14.56 is the wholesale price. And our next item is this. These are a little deeper, right? So they would extend off your ear a little bit. I just love how it's kind of like a cone with all those really traditional filigree curly Q S elements, right, with the granulation. Very cute, very gorgeous. That's for a 9mm cab. ES 244 with a retail price of $23.40 and a wholesale price of $14.63. What have we got next? Let's see. I think we're going back to the little more traditional settings here. Here's just a great big basket setting, right? It's a post, and that is what is that? It's like eight prong setting. So I don't know. You'd need to have just a great big bold stone, like either a diamond, something super sparkly, or something really vivid, like a I don't know, a nice fire opal. Yeah. Night bright orange. EW 543 with a retail price of $25.52 and a wholesale price of $18.03. Now this is measured at 11mm round sort of thing, but I suspect you could very easily put a 10mm stone in there. Yeah, pretty much guaranteed. There's a couple more cabochon settings. Another post, earring posts, right? Maybe I won't pull that out. They're just scalloped bezel, right, on there. And I guess if your stone was really thin, you could maybe push those petals down onto the cab a little bit. Although ostensibly this is designed for the cabs to be glued in. ES 243 for an 8mm cab. The retail price is $14.56 and a wholesale price is $9.10. Here we have another that, well, I guess theoretically maybe you could put a cut stone, a faceted stone in there. I wouldn't. I would save that for cabochons for sure. Just because the the prongs are not super tall, so and the seat is pretty wide, so depending on the edge geometry of your pavilion, the stone would stick up really high, and you probably wouldn't have enough length of these prongs to get over onto the crown and hold the stone down in there. So cabs definitely, and that's kind of a cute little flowery sort of thing, right? Here's one that I just love, these nice big bold earrings, ear wires, right? Let me show you that with the front with a row of cubic zirconias in there, right? Nice big wide earrings, and that is EW 545. That's for a 10mm cabochon. Retail price is $23.44 and a wholesale price is $15.05. And I just love those. Here's another kind of more of a, this is definitely a cabochon setting. ES 181 for a 6mm cabochon. $21.18 is the retail price, $16.94 is the wholesale price, and it's just a cute little, I don't know, 3 little ribbon flourishes, right? These ones actually come with backs already on them. Most of our earrings do not come with backs, so just if they come with the backs, you know, hey, bonus, EW547 with a retail price of $21.92 and a wholesale price of $14.87. This is for a 5mm round cabochon, and this is just a cute little starfish, right? Very cute, very very organic. I hate using that word, but kind of is. Almost like coral. Oh, I think it would be very cool to see coral in this sort of a shape. Now we've got, moving along, we've got these trillium, triangular, whatever you want to call them, settings, right? They're just posts. And we've got these inside. I probably should have showed you the biggest one so you could see what the setting looks like, right? So that's right, curvilinear triangle, so like a cushion triangle. I guess cushion cut and triangle isn't mutually exclusive, but neither here nor there. Anyway, so we have this in 3mm, 4mm, 5mm, 6mm, yeah. ES279 with a retail price of $9.37 and a wholesale price of $5.46, and this is the 3mm version of that. ES280 with a retail price of $9.85 and a wholesale price of $5.73. That's the 4mm version of that. And these require that the stone, ideally it's a cut stone, and ideally the corners are pointy, and I'll explain why when we get to the biggest one. I can show you on that, you might be able to see it better. Anyway, that's for 5mm. ES277 for the 6mm one, $9.18 is the retail price, $5.51 is the wholesale price. And the reason why you need to have pointy corners on your stone is, I don't know if you can see, ideally so the pavilion sits down in the seat, and that gets, you know, held in place from going, you know, sideways or thing. The things that keep it going out is, I don't know if you could see on the inside of that prong how there's a little notch carved into it, right? There's a little gap. You can make that bigger if you need to with a little ball burr, but I don't know. I found most of the times when I set with these at trade shows that we're at, that we do free setting, that I never have problems. I never need to use that. But there's gotta be pointy corners, because the points have to go into that thing. If the corners are kind of curved and you push these prongs down onto the corners, it'll probably hold it, but there's always the chance that it could shift. Actually, if it's a cut stone, it's less of a problem. And for a cabochon, it'd be a problem. But for a cut stone, ideally the pavilion holds it from going sideways, and the points down into these things that you push down hold it from getting pulled out. So very easy, very gorgeous. And let's just move right along. What have I got? Okay, this tray is kind of a mess, so I'm gonna have to, I think I probably should have figured this out earlier. So we've got some plain settings. Again, these are for pairs. The same idea as those trilliums, only they're pairs, and I'll explain to how they work when we get to the biggest ones, because we've got this size is 3x5. We've got 4x6, 5x7, and 7x9. And wait, what's this? 6x8. Do I have two 6x8s? Oh no, 4x6, 5x7, 6x8, and 7x9. So we have every regular size. And when I say, you know, but pairs are tricky because there's so many variations on the height and the width that don't look weird no matter how you do it. So we've got a couple of the most common dimensions, but a lot of times pairs are the ones that we end up doing custom work on because they're just weird shapes. So 3x5 pair is ES278 with a retail price of $969 and a wholesale price of $564. And again, that's just a regular old post, right, with a lovely little basket setting. The next big size is 4x6 or 6x4 ES222 with a retail price of $1061 a pair and a wholesale price of $663 a pair. The next biggest one is ES223 for the 5x7. Retail price is $1092. Wholesale price is $683 a pair. And same thing, just bigger. And the next biggest size up is this 6x8. And I know I'm reading this backwards from what it says here. It's just got all the years that I was trained doing bench jewelry and doing stone setting. It's always, the lower number was always first. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. So I always call these 6x8. ES224 with a retail price of $1186 and a wholesale price of $741. Right, that's that. So it's like pretty common in the jewelry industry that there are no standards for anything. Everybody has their own name for stuff. ES225 with a retail price of $1373 a pair and a wholesale price of $858. This is the 7x9. This is the biggest version of these simple basket settings that we have. We have a couple of other bigger ones, but they're not exactly the same. And I don't want to group them together with these because, right. So these, it's just a regular basket setting for a cut stone. You could probably put a cabochon in there with the following proviso, and I'll come back to that. So these are pre-notched, right? It's got a beautiful, that hybrid seat with that 41-degree angle, which is kind of the most traditional angle for cut stones. Now, colored stones have all kinds of crazy angles, so you never really know. Anyway, that single prong up at the top has that same notch cut in it, so ideally it's a pointy top. If it's a stone with a pavilion that sits down in there, not as important that it's a very pointy corner or a very, very pointy tip, because you know, these prongs and that will hold the stone from popping out, and the pavilion holds the stone from popping you know, out the side. So that's all that is. Now we have a couple of other ones. Here's another big post that's just a little bit different. EW544 with a retail price of $1546 and a wholesale price of $1054. This is for a 7x10 millimeter pair, and this has the double prong at the top, which I kind of prefer for most things, because even if your stone doesn't have a pointy tip and it's a cab, you can get this to push over onto both sides of the top, and it's just a little more secure than having the single prong. You can also see these, sometimes they're made like this and then the top is flat, but there's a chevron on there. It's a chevron top. Those are a little less useful, or I should say I think they're prettier, but they're a little less easy to set with, because you've got to push both prongs in on the same time. So that's that. Here's a couple more, kind of a spiritual cousin of the you know, the frame, the oval frame one that I showed you before, right? Same idea, same basic design concept. It's just a regular basket setting. Ideally for a cabochon, just you can tell because of the size of that, how wide the flat seat is. I don't think there's a cut stone that would fit in there. Maybe if it's a really, really shallow pavilion, you might be able to get that to fit. But it's got the cute double prongs, which I It's my personal preference. I like those best. ES 144 with a retail price of $27.33 and a wholesale price of $16.39. That's for a 7x10 millimeter pear-shaped stone. And then we have, and these are probably not going to be in order. Bummer. Wait, what is this? 6x8, 5x7. Okay, well, we'll put them in order as we go. So it's just a regular basket setting, right? The regular old, and I think we've got pendants like this too that just have a bail on the top, right? So it's just a regular old basket setting with that single prong up at the top with the notch cut in there. EW 730 for the retail price of $12.69, wholesale price of $7.93, and that's for a 5x7 millimeter stone. Here's one for, so 5x7, what would be next? 6x8. Here's the 6x8 EW 731 with a retail price of $13.20 and a wholesale price of $8.28. Again, just same old thing with the regular ear wires. The next one would be, of course, a 7x9 EW 732 with a retail price of $13.52 and a wholesale price of $8.45. Again, just whatever. Doesn't really need much more explanation. What was that? 7x9. What would be next? 8x10. 8x10. Here's the 8x10 version. EW 733 with a retail price of $15.60 and a wholesale price of $9.57. And then I think the biggest one we have of this is that one. It's the 9x11 EW 734 with a retail price of $16.02 and a wholesale price of $10.01. And I'll pull this out and show you this because it's always easier to see all the detail on the biggest ones just in the camera. So what again, regular basket setting, kind of it doesn't get more traditional than that. It's got that 41 degree hybrid seat for that traditional cut stones. The notch in the single point, I don't know if you could see that, maybe the shadows are in the wrong place, and the little notches in those side prongs. Very easy to set. Oops, I don't want to crush that ear wire. Let me just put that down. Here's another cute one. This is just an ear wire with that little, it's not really Celtic, it's just kind of faux Celtic. It looks like a little Celtic when you first look at it. So it's just cute little design component, right? To make a little dangle for that and this kind of a setting, a seat setting, you can put anything in there. You can put a cut stone, a faceted stone, right? You can put a cabochon in there pretty easily. It's got the double prong in there, so even if the tip of the point isn't super pointy, that'll still work. EW 598 with a retail price of $21.97 and a wholesale price of $13.73. That's for a 7x9 or 7x11 millimeter. 7x11, is that right? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, 7x11 millimeter pear-shaped stone. You know, we have a couple of other, but I'm going to come back to them. Here's another post that's kind of like a tinier version of that, right? That thing. I can pull this out. It's just an oval setting with that nice big wide silver frame separate from the thing, so it'll definitely look like a border is around your stone when you put the stone in there. It's a very cool effect. ES 183, that's for a 5x7 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. How did I miss this one? I didn't. Retail price of $15.42 and a wholesale price of $12.32 again. And then we've got a couple of other, I don't know, kind of incongruous things that are just kind of thrown in this tray mixed with other stuff. Your ES254 with a retail price of $16.95 a pair and a wholesale price of $10.60 a pair. This is for a 10 by 12 millimeter pear-shaped cabochon. Now this, 10 by 12, right? That just means that the width here is 10 millimeters and the height here is 12 millimeters. But along the way, for those two dimensions, how these curves behave can be different, right? Like you can maybe make them a little less curved and then there'd be a gap here. So with these kind of earrings, and these are just gorgeous, simple bezels, I like that, or I guess I would suggest that these be more, if you're a lapidary, if you have access to lap wheels, a thing that you can adjust the shapes of your stones, because sometimes if you just got a regular old 10 by 12 millimeter pear shape, even though the height and the width dimensions are correct, sometimes the curvature can be a little bit weird and you might end up with little gaps in there and something. And being able to shave the sides of your stones is so advantageous. Here's a couple of other weird things here. I just love those. Those are right up my alley. EW541 with a retail price of $17.64 and a wholesale price of $11.79 for a 7 by 10 millimeter oval pair. And I just like this because it looks like it's all one piece. And again, mind the post, right? We gotta bend the post to make them fit in these little display boxes. So I guess theoretically you could snip that post off and connect an ear wire to that and then use it as a dangle or as a pendant, but I just think it's cool as a earring, kind of a basket setting that's kind of wrapped around with wire that's soldered to pieces. The thing is, I don't know. That's just me. Here's a couple of other things that are, they're still pairs, but they're not simple settings, right? Just regular old ear wires with this lovely, flourishes sort of thing on the side. This has that chevron prong at the top that I was telling you about before. That's just a little trickier to use than the double prongs. You need to push that sideways into until the tip of the stone sits in there, and then you've got the regular old side prongs then in there. So ideally, a low dome cabochon would work great in here. A cut stone would work great in here. EW595 with a retail price of $18.72 and a wholesale price of $11.60. And 6 by, I guess the other dimension is not listed on here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is probably 6 by 12, something like that. I don't know. If you go to the website and type in EW595, excuse me, and look that up, the dimensions will be there. Which is kind of the point of this whole live stream, right? To get you guys to see stuff that is cool. Oh, this is just cinched in there. Okay. No idea why this is. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to leave this connected to this thing somehow. I don't want to mangle it any more than it is. So this is just a super cool, very, what do you call that? I want to say postmodern, but it's more like, welcome to the late 80s. Right? Very, very new wave. A couple pairs, one with the inverted up at the top where the post is, and another dangle down at the bottom. Obviously the pair is at the top, and the marquise down at the bottom. I don't have the dimensions of those stones, but again, if you look up EW677 on the website, the dimensions of those settings will be there. $25.65 a pair is the retail price, and $16.03 is the wholesale price. And I feel like this, I saw this in a Duran Duran album cover. Oh my god. Hey, that kind of stuff, that's vintage now, right? ES 154 with a retail price of $23.91 and a wholesale price of $14.95. This is for a 7 by 11 millimeter pair. Lovely sort of, I don't know, flame evocative posts with those little dangles hanging down at the bottom. Again, I love these double prongs. I find they're the easiest way to set those pear stones. Easier than the single prongs with a notch in there, and the definitely easier than the chevrons. But this is super simple, right? Cabochon, cut stone, faceted, whatever you can put in there will work. And then the last item I have on this tray, and I'm going to save the next tray, the rest of the next tray for next week. It's just a lovely cubic zirconia bar, right, with a lovely, I guess, sideways diagonal square shape with some things. And then this, now, obviously this kind of thing is not, you're not going to run out and buy a stone that fits this. This is definitely what you call a lapidary special. It's for a cab, right? You can slip, I guess, one side of the cab down under there, and the rest, whenever you see this sort of texture on the outside of that, that's to glue a stone on there. And just given the shape of this setting, you'd need to have the setting first and then cut the stone according to it. So clearly, I mean, we don't sell a whole bunch of these, but the times that I have seen them done with a stone in them, you know, they're very cool. Almost little intarsia like, a little you know, because the edge of the stone, the one I saw, it was lapis that it was done in, and it looked really nice with that lapis stone right up against that. I know some people don't like using lapis with silver because lapis lazuli has those gold flecks of pyrite in there, which might look weird, but I didn't think it looked weird at all. And you know what, I'm going to leave it there. Where am I? 16 minutes ahead of time. What am I going to do with the rest of the 16 minutes? I'm not going to keep you here. I'm going to do my regular post-amble. Is that it? Oh, Vicky, I didn't see you. Hi, Vicky. Nice to see you here on the stream, watching. If you're still watching. Why are you still watching? Oh my God, I'm my worst critic. So that's it. I think that's mostly all the earrings. There's just a couple of other mention the upcoming shows. We have some upcoming shows in we're going to be in Calgary on the second week of August. I think it's the 9th, 10th, something like that. Oh God. You know what? I have my phone right here. I can look up a calendar. Yes. There was supposed to be the Kitsilano Gems show that first weekend, but I guess the City of Vancouver never came through with directions for... Right, thank you. Marvel, I'm going to assume that's Marvel. Calgary Gem Show is Friday the 13th of August through Sunday the 15th. And we'll all be there. I'll actually also be there doing free stone setting for you if you buy your settings at the show. And then so that's the Friday through that weekend, that 13th through 15th. Then the next weekend, we're also going to be in I-80 West. Your husband is driving and you're watching this live stream on your phone, driving through I-80 West. Where is that? Is that the one that goes through Idaho? Anyway. Okay, hold on. Too much information. The next weekend, Friday the 20th through Sunday the 22nd, we're going to be in Edmonton, Alberta. And Alberta being Alberta, that's where all the shows are live. Wyoming, I was going to say, is that Idaho? Southern Idaho, but that's I-90, right? That's Idaho. Anyway, At least you probably have some beautiful country to be looking at as you're driving there. Everything. We're just stuck here in. I know Vancouver is beautiful, but it's stupid hot right now. Again, I guess it's not. Is that hot enough to say stupid hot? If it's 30 degrees, whatever that is. What was the other thing I was supposed to? I forget. So the Kitsilano Gem Show, as far as we know, is not happening that first weekend. That it was supposed to be the Thursday the 5th through Sunday the 8th, but I guess there was no direction as to the city of Vancouver opening up for public events with lots of people. But Alberta, they're good. Bring it on. Yeehaw! Oh, right, live events during the showtimes. Will there be live events during the showtimes? Yes, because let me tell you, I'm going to be in Calgary that weekend, the 5th thing. So I could do the Wednesday morning. I wouldn't be leaving till Thursday anyway. So right. But I won't have the items. Never mind. That's here we're deciding right here live on the live stream. You see now this is how the sausage gets made. No, I guess we're not going to have live stream during those times because maybe I could do something small, like we're not taking any of our fancy schmancy machines right to those shows, so maybe I'll do a little demo of how that, because we have some very cool stone. You won't have my phone? I won't have that. No, we're definitely not doing a live stream for those 2 weeks. Oh my God. Amateur hour. Is this amateur hour or what? We're making it up as we go, but that's okay. This is a good thing. So the 12th and the 19th, there will be no live stream. Mark that down. Unless we come up with something, some way to do it. Probably not going to happen. Oh boy, definitive answers. This is what we like to have. Maybe we should edit this whole part out before we put it up on YouTube or wherever it goes. But yes, so we're going to be in Alberta those 2 weekends, the second and third weekend of. You can look it up on the website. We'll have. Thanks, Lise. Appreciate that. Yeah. Because chances are good they're not finding out in this, live stream, which if you're still here, why are you still here? We're not talking about any products or anything. We're just trying to make it up as we go. So yes, the weekend of 13th to the 15th in Calgary, 20th to the 22nd in Edmonton. I will not be in Edmonton. I'm going to be at the Calgary show. And then I'm scooting back home because somebody has to fulfill the orders and ship everything and do all that stuff. Because the internet still happens even if we're away at a show. So yes. So don't worry if you're placing an order on Etsy, you'll still get it. We still ship thing all the time. Most of the inventory is going to be gone. But we'll collect any of the orders that happen over that weekend, and I'll ship them when I get home on Monday. Also, I guess that for the rest of that week, in between Calgary and Edmonton, any orders that you place will get shipped from the road. So, yeah, right? Because because we use Chit Chats. There's Chit Chats in both Calgary and Edmonton. They have offices there, so we'll be able to ship from wherever we are. And yeah, so that's that. So in the meantime, now that we have all that cleared up, clear as mud, as they say, we've done everything. Live events during showtimes? No, there's no live events during the showtimes. We will be shipping. Everything is all good. Gave you the dates for those shows that we're going to be in Calgary and Edmonton. I guess that's it. In the meantime, see, I'm 9 minutes early, so that's awesome. In the meantime, I guess we'll see you next week. Yes, definitely see you next week. But in the meantime, keep making stuff, keep those creative juices flowing. Take care of yourself, take care of the planet, take care of your mental health. get those vaccinations if you haven't yet. Please, do yourselves a favor, do us a favor, do everyone else a favor, even if you don't believe in it. Science doesn't care if you believe or not. And the people that you kill will care very much whether you're vaccinated or not. So vax up, mask up, and we will see you next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I can do this. Click that button.